Alright guys, welcome to another Amberlynn Reid video. This one is called Keemstar versus Zachary Michael, How Beck Proposed and Growing Up in Poverty. Let's talk, episode 9. Thanks for watching, XOXO. Don't forget to join my membership stream, Kitty stream. Cameo link shit is still here, Instagram, TikTok, and her gambling addiction link is still here. Let's take a look at these comments. A little bit late to the party this time. Not my fault. You can't be almost 600 pounds and call yourself an advocate for your health. If the peripheral story was yours to share, then cleaning up your shit bags with their story to share. That's true. Beck wiping you is their story as much as it is as yours. People don't believe you shower because you have a history of not showering. It's not that complicated. That's true. 600 pounds is not due to genetics. Why are you still talking about that? Alright, let's just get into it. Also guys, if you could please check the description box for my eBay store. I have a couple things there that I'm selling. Like they say, it would mean a lot if you guys would check it out. Also, please remember to please like, comment, and sub. Thanks. Alright, so immediately she looks like trash, eyebrows look like trash.
Hello.
Her stain in the back still makes me think that it's my screen being dirty, but it's hers. So beat her up as well.
Hello, welcome to another Let's Talk. I was crying a little bit before this video, so that's why I look the way I do, but I'm okay. So let's just hop right into it with sweet and sour.
You always look that way anyway.
Whereas said, they didn't silence you, you embarrassed them with the engagement story. I'd be mad too if I was them. So that engagement story was as much theirs as it was mine, and I'm allowed to share that. If you're embarrassed with the way that you proposed, maybe you shouldn't have proposed that way. I stand by what I said. It was a weird way to propose. If you guys don't know, Beck proposed on a little vibrator after we hadn't had sex for literally a few years, and they asked me, will you have sex with me for the rest of my life? And I just thought that was kind of insensitive. It did feel
insensitive because you are basically physically impossible to have sex because you're bad shit.
personal, and it just felt off to me, and I have a right to share that. And that's like the only story that I've shared, when I have hundreds more, but I choose not to. Ranch Girly 33 said, Amberlynn, look at all the positivity in the chat. The change is coming. So I don't know. I've only seen the few comments that I screenshotted here, but if there is more positivity, I'm happy to see it. Thank you guys. Sailor Mercury 1990 said, yep, I keep saying, why does VM sound like the same people every damn week? So I'm assuming you're talking about the voice messages. I have not done a single repeat. Every single voice message I have done has been from a different person. Chop Suey 2716 said, why she keeps saying she had a CT scan? She was too fat years ago and she didn't get it. She's heavier than before, but willy-nilly getting scans now. Well, for one, I'm not heavier now. 2, I'm saying that I got a CT scan because I did. 3, I was only too big for a CT scan one time, and that was during a time when I was in a rural area. Since then, I've gotten multiple CT scans due to my cancer because I was in a bigger city. CT scans have weight limits and they're all different. Large populated places have CT scans that do allow bigger bodies. So I hope this helps. All right, now it is time for Sippin' Community. What do you consider working on your relationship with food? What have you done to improve it? So I'm just gonna list off a few things. I'm no longer like labeling foods good or bad. Yes, I'm fully aware that there are foods that are better for you and I want to nourish myself with those, but labeling certain foods as bad is triggering as hell for me. I'm trying to figure out like, what are my emotional triggers? What are my mental triggers? Like, what are my environmental triggers and things like that? And then finding coping mechanisms for those triggers. I'm keeping a food journal. This is building lots of awareness for me. I'm slowing down my eating and I'm trying not to eat so much while watching something because I realize I eat a lot faster while I'm like watching a YouTube video. I'm just trying to be more focused on my food. I am literally discarding the all or nothing approach because that has never worked for me in the past. Because when I do the all or nothing approach, if I make one small tiny like quote unquote bad decision, or I'm taking away the bad, but in the past if I would have made that bad decision, I would have just let loose for the full day. But instead I make that quote unquote bad decision and I just go on. I'm connecting my eating to self-worth. Like so many people tell me, Amberlynn, you're so fat, you don't need to eat for a year. Like, I don't believe that. I'm just trying to really truly take away all of this like nonsense, this noise that I only deserve food if I'm skinny. I try not to watch any eating content, and if I do, I make sure they're eating something healthy. Like, have you guys heard of the Tiffany plate? That's that plate that I eat with all the veggies and the cottage cheese and the chicken sausage. Like, if I was to watch eating content, I make sure to only watch ones that are healthy, because I noticed that like the unhealthy, lack of nourishing foods does trigger me. I'm trying to pay more attention to my hunger, fullness cues. I feel like the list can literally go on and on and on and on and on, but I'm really working on it. It's free reign, not free range. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I say free range, but thank you for letting me know. I'm probably gonna forget, if we're being honest. I'm so worried about my health. At Denny's after the ER, give me that girly pop grand slam. Oh, I don't know if you guys know this, but most restaurants do have healthier options, and that includes Denny's.
Yeah, right, bitch. Who's going to Denny's at midnight and getting a salad, like she said? Nobody.
Why don't you ever do a low sodium diet? You know what's really funny about this question? When I got my lab results, my sodium was low. My sodium was low. It was in the normal range, but it was low on the normal range. And I'm telling you, I'm probably as shocked as y'all. Keemstar cussed you out, just like...
How smug she is by just saying that. She's so unrealistic.
Like Zach did, but you loved when Keemstar did it. Make it make sense. Keemstar is a troll. He's literally like that towards everyone. Like, if you've watched his live streams, he's like that even towards the people that he loves the most. I'm not saying that he loves me. I'm not saying that we're friends, because we're definitely not. But even me, like me and my closest friends, we call each other hoe, hooker, like bitch, like what's up bitch? Like literally, like it's about the intent. Like, it's way different when it's a joke versus like how Zach did it. Like, that was out of anger. Like, remember, intent matters, just like in most things.
She said all that correctly was violence against her. You're such a fucking retard. And that's not violence against you.
The guy watching your TikTok at Denny's. So it's not that it was a coincidence that the guy was watching my TikTok at Denny's and I heard him do it in a sense of like, oh, it's a coincidence, like he's just sitting there watching my TikTok and then there I am, I pop up. It's the fact that he recognized me first, put the TikTok on, showed his friend, and he was like, no, it really is her. It's not that he was watching it first. Trust me, this happens a lot where someone will recognize me, they'll be looking, they'll either go to my Instagram or my TikTok, and I'll hear them, my mom will hear them, like, when I got my other side of my nose pierced, my mom was whispering to me, she's like, those people recognize you. And it was just like a cluster of people. And I didn't even notice. Like, we were in the piercing shop and she was like, watch. And then I caught them like looking and they were like whispering, yeah, it is her. But I was so nervous to get the other side of my nostril pierced that I didn't even notice. But like, this has been happening forever. Like, a lot of the time, like, people do come up to me, but there are a lot of the time that they don't. And then later I'll get a message on Instagram where they're like, oh, I saw you at so-and-so. I was too shy to come up to you. I genuinely think I'm just recognized a lot because there's also a lot of people who cover me. All right, you guys, now it is time for the interview.
So where do you think the line is between weight being due to genetics versus being due to environmental factors or personal choice and lifestyle?
I don't think there really is a line, because if it is due to genetics, then that's pretty black and white. I know for me, it's due to genetics. My grandma, my dad.
Yeah, 600 pounds is not fucking genetic. And what she's gonna say now, it's like, not even. You just eat like garbage. That's genetics that make you eat garbage.
Side used to be 600 pounds, but then she actually got the weight loss surgery. So I only knew her as a woman who was like 100 and something pounds. She's no longer with us. Like, that woman was my heart and soul. I miss her so much every single day. But I also know that it's environmental because of the things that I went through, all of the trauma. I turned to food. So I have a lot of medical and I have a lot of environmental, just things like working against me. Like, when I did the ACE test, I scored 9 out of 10. Now that we're here, I actually want to share with you guys what 9 I have, because I know so many people are like, what? So these questions are pretty black and white. Like, there's no even having to think of them. It's either it did happen or it didn't. I actually think that these questions might even be too triggering for some people, so I've decided I am not going to share them.
Hi, Amber. So I watched Destiny and Becky's video about you.
Okay.
And something that struck me as odd was the constant glazing everyone was doing to them. I felt that there was not a lot of accountability on Destiny/Becky's end.
Okay.
You know, while I believe Becky may not remember everything clearly, it felt like she kind of began to use that as a crutch to not take accountability or answer difficult questions, like questions about Twinkie.
Okay.
Do you think that the fans were sort of ready to take anything Destiny and Becky said in order to run with it and paint you as the villain? And how do you navigate that? How do you navigate the hate?
Oh, they were willing to hear anything said about me and believe it. Beck doesn't have to take accountability. Destiny doesn't have to take accountability.
Beck and Destiny, Jade, Feline, Crystal, Casey. I don't think they're the ones to actually just randomly believe any rumor that they make about you, Amber. You just make it seem like, oh, like, obviously they just listen to any random rumor that anybody's just given to them, they're just gonna run with it. No, that's just some psychotic shit that you're believing. You think everybody's out to get you. You think all this shit. But what kind of person brings that attention upon themselves other than someone who's actually deserving of it? This isn't like Gossip Girl or like all these other TV shows where someone makes a rumor and everybody's just so upset over it. And not upset over it, they're all going up in arms with a pitchfork and torches, want to hunt down the monster, aka you. This is not like that at all. You really are the monster, and people really want to take you down.
They will literally believe anything that they say. Beck doesn't remember a lot, and they lied a lot, and they exaggerated a lot. Like, literally, they lied about things that, like, there's proof of in vlogs, but nobody cares because they just want the tea about me. How have I navigated that? Well, I don't really know. I've popped off, like, a medium amount, definitely in live streams. But, like, I'm telling you, I could, like, pop off at a level that would probably shock a lot of people, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not gonna lower myself to that level. But at the level that I did pop off, it's just like, because it's too much. Like, why lie? Why share personal details? Like, it's just heavy. It's a lot. It's overwhelming. Any person on this planet, if they were experiencing what I have been experiencing, they would probably pop off themselves or they would disappear from the internet. Hint, hint. They will stay glazed, and I really just don't care.
Hey Amberlynn, me and my girlfriend have watched you for years now and have loved watching your journey. My question to you is, how do you handle setbacks without getting discouraged?
Ooh, I feel like I do get discouraged a lot, but somehow I just pick myself back up.
Hello, maybe this will do my skincare. My first question is, so we saw you get a Fitbit, and I mean, maybe I just haven't paid close attention, but I don't know where the Fitbit went, because I'm like, that Fitbits aren't cheap. So, and then also, I felt like you had an Apple Watch before, and I'm like, where did that go? Why get a Fitbit when you can, use your Apple Watch, I guess? I don't know. And I'm gonna send my second question in another thing.
Okay, so they did send me a second question, as they said, but let me answer that real quick. So the Fitbit was broke. Remember when I showed you guys, like, it went through the ringer to get to me? It was broke. Like, the front of the screen cracked. Couldn't even turn on. I was like, is the universe telling me that, like, I don't need a Fitbit? As for the Apple Watch, oh, she'd been lost. She'd been lost. I don't even think she made it to Oklahoma. All right.
And she also glazed over the fact that when she was wearing her Fitbit, she would get her heart would beat randomly fast when she's just sitting down, and that would give her anxiety. And because she would get anxiety from just sitting down and having the Fitbit to just go off, registering a high heart rate, she just stopped wearing it altogether. That way she doesn't get any more anxiety from her just sitting around and having a high heart rate. And honestly, just pathetic. Like, she's just sweeping all her problems under the rug until all it just comes out.
Okay, let's do the next question.
My second question is, you've cycled through a lot of diets.
Yeah.
You'll count calories until it triggers you, then you'll eat intuitively until you gain too much weight and realize you don't have, that control yet, and then you'll try Ozempic till your gallbladder hurts and you...
This sounds very much like a yo-yo dieter, very common, but yes, I do cycle.
Trying to do
I hope that you guys can hear them, by the way.
keto, but then your gallbladder hurts, but it helps your lipedema, so it's just, I don't know. I want to ask, what do you think what's it gonna take? Like, what's gonna work? And if you don't know that, that's okay too.
I don't know yet.
I was just curious, because it's like, I mean, I'm not a fan, but I have, like, I've followed your journey since, like, 2018, and I'm gonna be honest, it is a little maddening.
You're watching it. I'm living it. Like, it is maddening. I literally hate this for the both of us. Okay.
So that's just my main question is, what's it gonna take? And I'm trying not to be rude, but I can come
You're
off
not.
blunt, so I apologize for that.
No, you're good.
But yeah, those are my main questions.
Honestly, I think it's me working on my relationship with food, because before I never worried so much about that. It was more so like, oh, diet culture, ooh, let's lose weight. Now it's like, girl.
No, it's not you trying to fit into the mold of all these diet shit or whatever. It's always been hitting you right in the face. You're addicted to food. You can't handle a diet. You can't handle following a diet because your addiction would just go balls to the walls, aka the binge monster, yelling at people, bitching at them to get you drive through fast food. You're not trusted to take care of your health. you're not trusted with basically any adult responsibility pertaining to your health. You just make excuses on top of excuses. And eventually the camel's back is gonna break. And then what, Amber? What are you gonna do?
Like, let's work on that relationship with food. That's going to heal the way that you think of food. It's a lot. Okay, so they sent another one, so let's listen.
Also, I was not going to send a third message, but your egg intolerance actually is probably a side effect from your gallbladder because the egg yolk is really fatty. And when I had my gallbladder, that was a huge trigger for me was eggs. And I still can't eat them because it reminds me of how sick I used to get when I had a gallbladder. So yeah, fun fact, it's probably because of your gallbladder.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but no, it's not because of my gallbladder. I've actually had it since I was just a wee little girl, and my mom also suffers with the same thing. But thank you for the questions.
Hi, Amber. I just want to say that you and my sister love you. We always watch you together. But I just have 2 quick questions to ask. One, what like catchphrase, like I know you said like hectic on one. Like what catchphrase would you put on your like next like merch drop if you're gonna have one? And then also my other question is like, what was like your like favorite diet? Like not like necessarily like, how well it worked, but like the one that you enjoyed most. Like what diet did you like enjoy? I guess the most that you were on. Thank you, Queen. I love you.
I love you too. Why am I so giggly? I don't know what's going on. So I don't know what catchphrase I would put on one next. Like I was making so much merch, but then things happened and I had to stop. There was a lot of catchphrases, a lot of inside jokes. You guys would have literally loved it. I don't know if that's something I'll go back to or not, but right now the subject is a little touchy. But regarding favorite diet, Jenny Craig. Like I don't know what it is, but definitely favorite.
Hi Amber, I'm a huge fan of you and your channel. My question for you is, if you could start your YouTube career from scratch but keep all your knowledge of how to be a YouTuber, would you do anything differently? Would you change the way you did your journey? Let us know. Love you.
Yes, the answer is yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I love you too.
Hi, Amberlynn. Long-time viewer, first-time questioner. I've always wanted to know, when will you ever, release any information on your foster journey and what had happened to you during that time? I know that it's a very touchy subject, but it's just something that I've always found interesting because everybody has a different kind of story.
Yeah.
And even just releasing some information about it would just be something I'd want to hear in like a vlog or a Let's Talk video.
So that subject is very touchy for me for sure. And I think that's a reason why it's hard, because it's like there's so much that happened, obviously. Whether that was before foster care, during, or after, like there's a lot. And I know that there are so many people who are watching me who literally don't believe a word I say. Foster care and the things around it, I do not want any of that to be questioned, because that is the shit that gave me so much fucking trauma. Like that is my real life, true, authentic story. And for that to be like tainted in that way, which bro, like it can't even be more tainted than it already is, because obviously I have a lot of trauma, but it's just like for people to touch it in like a vile way instead of like a way that comes from like concern and gentleness. Like, I don't know, it's just hard for me, but I am an open book. And I am always open to answering any questions about foster care. It's just hard for me to sit down and make a full-fledged story time. It would probably be 10 hours long. I'd probably forget a lot of things. I'd be editing it back, probably thinking, damn, I should have said that, or I should have, you know, it's just a lot. But I am always willing to answer things.
Hi Amberlynn.
Yeah, that was just a lot of garbage. Over explanation for nothing, honestly.
First, I want to say that having your videos playing in the background has gotten me through both my bachelor's degree and now my master's degree.
Oh my gosh, congrats!
Gotta balance the chaos with some more chaos.
Yes!
So my question is, coming from a place of someone who also grew up in poverty and struggles with the scarcity mindset,
yes.
I want to ask, how do you plan on dealing with this in the long term? I know that I feel like once I have money, I need to spend it, or even once I have food, I need to eat it, because I feel like I might never have it again. I still go back to that place in my mind. And, you know, in the context of weight loss, which is also something I have struggled with, I think that the scarcity mindset gets in our way, because In our search for balance, we will create an artificial scarcity that our mind just instinctually wants us to alleviate. And so with that said, do you ever think that you'll get over the scarcity mindset? Is there something that you're doing or can see yourself doing to interrupt these thought patterns? Because it can be done, and I know that it can be done by doing some work with making yourself feel more secure in your situation. And yeah, I don't know, this is long, but I hope that this question finds you well, and happy summer. Bye.
Aw, thank you. I literally love that voicemail. Thank you. Voicemail. That's not a voicemail. Voice message. Thank you. I genuinely love that. I do have that mindset. I noticed it more and more, like more money that I made on YouTube, the more I would spend it. Like I used to buy so much clothes from Torrid because I grew up with none. Like when I lived with my parents, I had like one pair of pants, one sweater. Then I went to a children's shelter where you're sharing clothes with everybody. Like there's like a special closet that you go in and like I had nothing. And then even through foster homes, like I would get a couple outfits, but then I would transfer into a different foster home and then I would lose those clothes. It's like, where the hell did they go? I don't understand. And then when I was living with my parents, it's like one day we wouldn't really have much food. The next day my dad would go out and buy a bunch of like dollar cheeseburgers from McDonald's. And then I would eat it fast and a lot. And like, you know, we got free food from the food bank. That's a random fact. Like it would get delivered to us every Saturday. We had nothing. And now that I have this money, it's like I catch myself buying too much of something. And a lot of people's like, Amberlynn's a hoarder. It's like, no, I'm not a hoarder. My brain does not work accordingly. And I don't really 100% know how to get out of it. I mean, I will say I have definitely improved. I'm not sitting here buying hordes of clothing anymore. Like I'll buy a few things off of Torrid if they like drop something that's like super cute in my style. I still buy like Legos and stuff because that's my hobby, and literally my head is full of chaos and war and depression and sadness, and the minute I start doing a Lego, all of that just silences. So it's like I am trying to spend money on things that actually genuinely I feel like I need or like want, instead of like being in that mindset. All right, you guys, now it is time for tea or tale. Amberlynn is dumb for not reading her oracle cards in the right order. So oracle cards are super flexible. If you're doing like a more structured reading, like past, present, future, then yeah, you're probably gonna wanna read left to right. But I don't really do it that way. Like oracle is super intuitive. So I just read them with like the energy and the message that is trying to come through. And sometimes that can be jumping around with the card. Sometimes the middle card is a bridge to the first one and the second one. They're all tied together some way. There's no wrong way of reading oracle as long as the reading and the interpretation.
She's just an idiot. She does everything wrong. She does everything that fits her convenience.
Feels authentic and meaningful. Amberlynn only showers and cleans in her vlogs to prove she can. It is so crazy to me, so wild to me, that people are taking like everyday normal moments in someone's life and like creating an agenda behind it. Like literally over analyzing everything to the last detail. I do a lot of things that I don't vlog. I rarely ever show myself cleaning or showering, and those are things that I do on a day-to-day basis. And then it's like when I do show it, people make some conspiracy about it. It's so weird. Here's a little secret for you guys. I do not live life for my vlog. I simply just vlog my life. And sometimes that's gonna be me showing you the bland, like the bland of the bland. Like, yo, just showered, how you doing? Like every vlogger that I watch talks about showering, talks about cleaning, but when Amberlynn does it, it's a whole like conspiracy and there's some sort of agenda.
But she always likes talking about how other people do this, other people do that. But the thing is that you're not those people, and we know how you function. We know how you are pathologically a liar and all that stuff. Like, you're not trying to fool us by showing us these clips. And that's what the audience are trying to tell you. Retard.
Behind it, and that's just like not the case. Cleaning and showering, it's nothing special. Every single person on this planet should be doing that. Amberlynn did the right thing by going to the hospital. I got this so much in my Instagram DMs, and I have to agree with you guys, but I also noticed there was a large fraction of people that were like, bro, like that was so dumb. Like you should not be worried about chest pain. You should not be worried about an elevated D-dimer. Listen, I want to make something very clear, and it's probably obvious. I have really bad health anxiety. It's literally the type of anxiety like.
So how is she just walking around day to day if she has high health anxiety? Just look at herself. She's a walking blimp. I would be super anxious if that was her.
Most anxieties, like all anxieties, where you cannot control it. And even being rational during those times is almost impossible. Like while it's happening, you even wonder, am I being rational? Should I be worried about this? Should I have anxiety? Should I be scared? Should I be seen? Like, it's just constant in your brain. But after being diagnosed with cancer and after everything that like surrounded that, if there is something health related wrong with me, I want it to be fixed. Like, if something is wrong, I need to figure it out. Like a year ago, I was having like a few symptoms and I was an advocate for myself. And it turns out I had a 6mm kidney stone. I probably still have it because there's nothing you can really do about it because it's literally in my kidney. It's not traveling yet. Sometimes your symptoms are nothing, but sometimes they are something. And I'm not invincible. Scary things.
Listen, that's... I don't know what the hell you want me to think about that. You have a fucking kidney stone in you. And that's something that normally happens to everybody. I'm not sure.
Can happen. I'd rather care about myself just enough than not care about myself at all. And I'm just not going to be sorry for that. All right, you guys, it is time for bad choices. And look, this is how many we've done. I keep my pile over here. That is how many we've done during the series. Like, can you believe it? I don't know.
All right, let's do this together.
1, 2. Try to like get random. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Make sure they're all in the right way here. Alrighty, here we go. Have you ever had sex at work?
Yikes on bikes. No.
No? Have you ever lied about your weight on your driver's license?
I don't have a driver's license, and the fuck do you need your weight on that for?
No. During sex, have you ever tried to finger someone's ass?
Yikes on bikes.
No! What the hell? Would you marry a billionaire even if it meant you could never see your family again?
Yikes. I'd probably say no.
It depends. Like, am I still able to talk to them? Because there have been obviously multiple times that I've lived in a different state. I didn't see my family, but I talk to them daily. If I'm allowed to talk to them, then yeah, because love is love, but I'm not marrying them just for the money. See, this question's weird. I would never marry someone just for money. I would never not see my family just for money. But if I found love and this person happened to be a billionaire, then yeah, but only if I can talk to them, FaceTime them, message them, and they're still in my day-to-day life. Have you ever pretended to be asleep while someone was having sex in the same room?
Yikes.
I've been a teenager once.
No.
I'm telling you, my friends were
That's gross.
That is all I'm gonna say about that. Wow, at the beginning of this video, I felt so sad. Like, you guys saw it. Like, I cried before this video. I just have a lot going on, okay? I cannot wait to start my medicine tomorrow. And I know it takes like 5 to 6 weeks to start working. But girl, it's gonna be in my body. It's gonna be doing its thing. It's gonna be trying to work, And I just feel really hopeful. Positive changes are coming. But anyways, I hope that you guys did enjoy this video. And thank you guys so much for just cheering me up a little bit. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
If you take it for 6 weeks and you're not putting in the effort, then nothing's gonna change, idiot. Well, anyway, guys, until the next time.